Okay, I promised before that we would come in here and we would talk about indentations, spacing after sentences, hard and soft returns, as well as page breaks. And hopefully I can cover all this stuff fairly quickly. You can go back and watch the video over and over again if you need to in order to figure some of this out. We've already taken care of the basic layout, which is 8.5 by 11 paper, 1-inch margins, 12-point Times New Roman font, not Courier New, double spaced, and left aligned. Okay, we don't want justified, we don't want any special margins or any kind of special fonts. We're going to keep this as basic as we can because this is just going to your editor and they need a nice clean copy. The cleaner it is, the easier it is to go through and for them to focus on what we really need them to do, which is help us improve our writing and make sure that everything is done correctly as far as spelling. We don't want them having to worry about weird formatting. So what we're gonna go back to again, and if you've forgotten, this Pilcrow right here, this is the paragraph symbol. This in Microsoft Word is the ShowHide feature. You can turn it on so you can see your formatting by clicking on it. It's under the home menu option right there. Click it off, they disappear. Click it on, you can see them again. So I want to start by talking about page breaks, okay? This is not how you get to the next page, going enter, 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 enter. Oh, I didn't get to the next page. Enter, right? That is not how we do a page break. You want to highlight and delete all these or just delete them individually. It doesn't really matter how you do that. But get rid of all those. So now we have the stuff that we want maybe on our cover page, which that's not all the information that should be on your cover page. We'll cover that in another video. But if you have your cover page information and then you have your chapter 1 needs to start on a brand new page. But instead of hitting enter over and over again until you get to the next page or tab or whatever, and instead of going insert page break, the best way to insert a break to the next section would be to go to layout, breaks, next page. Okay, layout, breaks, and then next page. This is gonna be in the long run the best way to do it because this is how your formatter, if they're using Word to do your formatting, that's how they're gonna do it. Okay, so that was again layout, breaks, and then next page. Pretty simple. Now we've got this information here on our cover page, and then it goes all the way down here without having to do enter, 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 enter over and over again to our chapter 1. And again, this is showing us our formatting. Anytime you see the paragraph symbol, that's a hard return. That's hitting the enter key. Okay, the only time you're going to use that is when you're basically starting a new paragraph or adding in a scene break, which would be this stuff right here. This, either the 3 asterisks or the pound symbol would be kind of how you would do your scene break information. Okay, so you will use the hard enter at the end of paragraphs though, essentially. You're not going to use them in the middle of paragraphs, which is what you see here. These are hard returns, and if you have done this at the end of your lines, that's going to be a problem. The only time you should be using it is in this instance, at the end of a paragraph. Okay, if you've used the hard return, the enter key, at the end of a line, just because you were typing and, oh hey, I got to the end of the line, I better press enter so that the next word will start on the next line, then that's a problem. So you'll need to go in and you'll need to remove the hard enters. Don't use hard enters. Don't hit enter at the end of a line at all in a word processing program, because the word processing program automatically wraps the text for you. You don't have to press enter. It automatically does it. When you press enter, then it causes problems with the formatting. As you can see here, this actually ended up ending those sentences a little bit sooner than it should have. And now as formatting comes about, I have to go in and remove each of those by hand. There's no way for me to remove a hard enter over and over and over again without removing paragraphs as well. So essentially, if I were to go in to the find feature, the find and replace feature, what would happen is it would remove every single one of these. So all of my paragraphs would turn into one big paragraph. So you have to remove those by hand one by one. And the same goes for the soft returns. The only time I can think of that you would use a soft return is if you definitely need to continue with the same paragraph, but you need the word to start on the next line. A soft return is by pressing Shift Enter, and that gives you this little teeny arrow that you see right here. Okay, this though, there's really rarely ever a time where you're actually going to need it. Most software, word processing programs, they automatically do this stuff for you. They gauge the right distances and when a word should be going to the next line. So it's very rare that you'll ever even need to use this in a word processing program. And again, you have to go in and remove these manually. So every one of them that you see, they have to be removed manually, just like that. Okay, so hard returns, soft returns, just don't do them at the end of sentences, okay? Or at the end of lines, I mean. Don't do them at the end of the line. So here at out, you'd be like, oh, I'm still typing, I need to go to the next line. No, don't do that. Those all have to be removed from formatting later. Let the program automatically wrap your text for you until you get to the end of the paragraph. Then when you're at the end of the paragraph, go ahead and hit enter because you want that hard return to start your next paragraph. Another problem that you might see here is that sometimes this happens where someone will use the space bar to create a manual indentation in a paragraph. If you have done that, it's a problem. It needs to be removed because you should just be using an indentation feature like either the ruler right here or the styles feature from the home menu. Okay, and changing the normal to have an indentation on it, which I will be showing you that as well. But for now, today, we're just going to remove the bad formatting, and in another video, I'll show you how to put in the proper formatting. Okay, so right now, we're just removing what shouldn't be there. So we don't want all these spaces here for indentation, and let's say you did it for every paragraph in your 50,000 word novel. Oh my goodness, that would get really tiring going through and removing these one by one by one by one, right? Well, this is a particular thing you can actually remove fairly quickly using the Find and Replace tool in Microsoft Word. So if you push Control F, the navigation bar will pop up here on the side. Control F stands for Control Find. Now there's this box where you can search for pretty much any word in your document, like the occurs 84 times. Or it's part of a word, like theater. The will come up as part of that word. And it will come up in this list. Or them. That there was an option, or there was an example of that in there. But we're not looking for the word the. We need to find and replace anywhere where we have 10 spaces used as an indentation. So I'm going to go replace. I need to make sure these boxes are clear. Okay, and I want to find, pushing the space bar 10 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want to find any of those and I want to replace them with blank, nothing. I don't want anything in there, okay? So in the replace with box, there's nothing. You want to make sure that there's nothing typed in there. Just hit the backspace key just to make sure, the delete key, just to make sure, okay? So you have 10 spaces there and nothing there. You're going to replace all. So as many as it finds in your document of 10 spaces in a row, it will find them and replace them with nothing. And as you can see, where it found 10 spaces in a row, it removed them in all those areas. Okay, it didn't from here because there was more than 10. There was 10 plus these ones. So I'll just delete those. And now, other things that you need to remove are tabs. If you have tabs in your document, you don't want to have this little icon show up when you have the the ShowHide feature turned on. Okay, tabs can cause a lot of problems with formatting, so you want to remove these as well. In order to do that, let's say you have this not open yet, so there's nothing else on there and you're not worried about the spaces anymore, so you're going to delete all that out of there. Make sure you got a clear box. But in this box, you want to put the tab, but you don't know what the code is for tab. So you're going to click More. This part of the box pops open. You come down here to Special. Then you go up here to Tab Character. Click Tab Character. It automatically inserts it for you here. And then you click Replace All. There's 12 times that I've got tabs in there. Oh dear. We're going to remove all those super quick. We've cleaned out that bad formatting. But now you're looking at this going, there aren't any indentations for paragraphs. This doesn't look right at all. Except for right here. This doesn't look right at all. It's just terrible. Well, it's not as terrible as it was. We've already done a lot to correct it. We've taken out the spaces for indents. We've taken out the tabs for indents. We've taken out the enter key that we did enter, enter, enter over and over again to create a page break. We've taken away the hard returns and the soft returns at the ends of lines. So we've cleaned up a lot of the formatting that was such a problem in here before. So you go ahead and work through your manuscript, doing all those steps. And then the next thing I'm going to show you is we'll work through how to add your indentations back in, okay? And then we'll also talk about centering text. And then once that's all done, I'm going to show you really cool style features. They're macros in the styles that you can set up that makes it so you click once and it will do what you want it to do, and you won't have to go through and change it every single time. Okay, so that'll be something cool that I'll show you in another video. But for now, that's what you're going to go through. Make sure that you watch this several times if you need to figure out how to do your page break and how to get rid of any kind. Oh, I totally forgot. I was going to show you getting rid of double spaces after a period. And after that, then I'll let you watch your next video. So anymore, we don't do 2 spaces after the end of a sentence. Now we only do 1 space after a sentence. This is pretty easy to fix. Again, all you need to use is your navigation tool, so I'll reopen it for you so we can go through those steps again. It's Control F, Control Find, Control F, and then the navigation box opens up. We're going to hit the little arrow here, go to Replace. In this box, we would type period, space, space. And then in this box, we type period, space, and then replace all. And it'll correct all the places where we had period, space, space to just period, space. So you can see here it took it out, so it only has 1 space after the period. And the spaces are represented by these little dots at the halfway point. Okay, now you don't have sentences, only sentences that end in periods. Some of your sentences end in a question mark, in a space, space. You would change that to question mark, space, and replace all those. Same thing. I don't have any in this document, so it says 0. Exclamation point, space, space, gets replaced by exclamation point, space, 1 space. Okay, replace all. I don't have any in this document, so it doesn't have any. Another one that you might have would be quotation marks. So you have like period, quotation mark, space, space. Well, you don't want it to end that way, do you? So you want your quotation mark, space. Sorry, the period was just an example. Could be anything, question mark, exclamation point, period, any one of those. However you end a sentence, whatever punctuation you use, the quotation mark after it, and then 2 spaces. You don't want 2 spaces, you only want 1 space. So you change it from 2 spaces to 1 space, replace all. I don't have any of the documents, so it says 0, but yours might say more, you never know. But once you've done that, now you've gotten rid of all those double spaces that you don't need. You haven't messed up any of the other formatting. So make sure you do it just like that. Go back through this video, rewatch it. If you have any questions, you are welcome to email me or leave a comment here on the video, and I will do my best to help you through. And we'll see you in the next video.